In the video, How Science Works, the video talks about how science is very unpredictable, dynamic, and it never concludes. Therefore, there's like a pinball machine, meaning there are many different factors that go in to evaluating the topic of science, such as the exploration and discovery of many new different ideas and topics in the scientific world. And with each of these new explorations and discoveries, there are many different benefits and outcomes that come with it. Many different hypotheses and observations are created for scientists to be able to tackle these problems head on and discover the correct data to be able to solve these problems as well. A good benefit of how science works and the ability of it is within the scientific communities. Within these communities, people can talk and share their ideas and figure out which ideas or data is closest to the solution as possible, and therefore group hypotheses can be created to help solve the real world scientific problems. Scientists struggle a lot of times in the trial and error method. Therefore, this is how they're able to figure out if what they're doing is correct or not. They have to try their experiments and their hypothesis and collect the data, and within the solutions find if there is any error available or not, and to see if that error has any correlation to the scientific problem at all. Back to the pinball machine relation of how science works, it is a never-ending cycle between many of these different topics, such as testing ideas, benefits and outcomes, sharing ideas within scientific communities, and explorations and discoveries. It is a never-ending cycle. The ability of scientists to be able to communicate with others during this process allows for more data and explanations and observations to be created. Therefore, most of the real world problems are solved by science nowadays, and these processes really help with that information. One big thing about science is that it never concludes. There are always questions and answers and data that come up along the way to be able to solve the problem. There is always new discoveries and information available for scientists to be able to change their input or opinion on their hypothesis. The ability and benefits of working within the scientific communities for these scientists is to be able to get feedback from others. Therefore, they can listen to others' ideas and see how they correlate to their own as well. They can share and gather data, and this data helps them be able to solve the scientific problems in the world today. In addition to science being a never-ending cycle, there are many different elements that go into this process, such as Charles Griswold and a bunch of other colleague scientists found in Oregon in a cave that there is a new species of spider that is very different and in part of a different family from other spiders in the world. This outbreak in the scientific world created many new problems and abilities for scientists to test their information within the scientific communities and give and share that data to others so they can all form a hypothesis to be able to solve the scientific problem going on at hand. The benefits and outcomes of this allows for all these colleagues of scientists to work together, share their data, take it to higher levels, and be able to break new scientific explorations in the world as possible. This is a huge benefit to scientists because without this information, they would never be able to tackle these real world problems at hand.